All right, I want to talk about the abilities and powers that some of these entities have on the higher levels. I made a video just now. I cut off. I had plenty of battery left in this thing, but goes to show you how they like to mess with me. Either that or they didn't want the information getting out. So I was basically talking about how someone mentioned to me that on the higher levels, heaven, they have the ability to move spirits around, okay? Certain spirits. And I also was mentioning to the listeners of this video audio recording, or I should say the previous one that didn't went through, I was basically letting them know how these entities can simulate, spirits out of the blue in this matrix, in this world. And they could use them basically as avatars, right? They could pretty much download themselves into this dimension, this realm. They could make a body to jump into or to just animate. They could, so basically just like a clone body, a dead body, no soul. They just animate it, right? And they move it around. You see a lot of them in Hollywood, all over throughout the earth, perhaps. Yeah, they're on high while they're doing this, okay? Yeah, I know it sounds out there. Sometimes they might be on earth just using their little technology to simulate spirits, right? So they could do all kinds of crazy things. Sometimes they could just jump into people, right? Some say that souls like myself, they're like a portal where the divine could communicate between other spirit beings, right? For example, they might get my attention by trying to get my attention with something, right, that I'm looking at, but it's just so they could communicate whatever spirit is inside me or near me, you see? So that's how they work and operate. And they can also see children on the planet. You see a lot of them in Hollywood, okay? You got bodies, corpses that they use. And like I said, different parts of the world. And they might not even be in this dimension, this realm. They could be on high. So it's pretty out there, huh? Now also, scripture says that they could capture souls from on high, the wicked ones, and they could put them in a body and basically move them wherever they want to. Basically like pimp you out, right? They could sell souls. Like the scripture says, they could sell souls. The wicked sell souls for wine, a harlot, that type of stuff. So that's what they do. If they could get a hold of your soul, they could, do all kinds of crazy things. And they did that to some of the righteous ones, the divine on high that fell. They move them around and that type of stuff. And they could erase your memory and that type of stuff. So they could keep you trapped, you see. So that's what they do. Secrets, right? It's high level magic. The ability that these entities have is something else, I tell you. And yeah, that's what they do. Now as far as finding out who's who and what's what, I'm not too sure, 100% sure. I know there are wicked entities on high messing with the matrix, okay? There are also good entities on top of them that oversee what these wicked ones are doing, you see? So there's a whole lot of stuff going on down here that is being overseen by what's going on in the higher realms. There's a lot of manipulation taking place in the higher realms that is manifesting here, okay? So that's what you got going on, basically. So yeah, just be aware of these things, okay? Because this is what they do. This is what they do. You think you're seeing something. You think they're down here on Earth. They could be somewhere else, on the planet. or they could be somewhere else on high. The scripture says, you know, they got a base under the sea, the wicked, right? Leviathan and them. They got international space stations and separate realities, and the eternal realms. They could exist there as well. So, hey, man, it's crazy. You never... What I'm basically getting at, this is my point. You never know when you're looking at the actual entity in your own reality that has manifested, okay? You never know when you're looking at it. Let's say, for example, you sense somebody that's, okay, this might be the entity. I'm not sure. It might be. That might be the entity. It might not be. It might be just like a hologram. It might be like an avatar. Or it might be the actual entity taking a different form, a spirit. So you really don't know who you're looking at, you know. You never know when it's the original, authentic one just coming on from on high to this dimension. So, yeah. That's pretty much what you got going on. All kinds of weirdness and stuff. You see? And yeah, some of these YouTube channels that you check out from these entities, they're not even in this realm, perhaps. They're somewhere else, okay? Outside of this dimension, perhaps. And yeah, they're just doing whatever it is they do, and you just get to see it, all right? You're in a separate reality and that type of stuff. Yeah, that's what you got going on. It's crazy, I know, right? But anyways, that's just to give you the 411 on the abilities that these entities have. Yeah, some of the people you see in Hollywood, they're just corpses that they animate, all right? Now, some of them are actual children of theirs that they have over there. You know, souls and all that. Some of them are not. They're just like clones or replicas, simulated, whatever. So yeah, you got all kinds of weirdness going on.